Welcome to Catalyst Conversations, the podcast where we spark powerful change in women's wealth. I'm Hadriana, a wealth coach, counselor, and strategist, and each week we dive into the conversations, strategies, and stories that help women confidently create the life they've always dreamed of. In this space, we bring together the wisdom of people from all walks of life who are ready to break free from the cycle of financial stress and build lasting wealth. From interviews with inspiring people, to deep dives into money mindset, to practical tips for achieving financial freedom, you'll find it all here. Together, we'll unlock the mindset, tools, and strategies that empower you to step into your financial power. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you're a loyal listener, we're here to support your wealth journey. So grab your favorite bevy, settle in, and let's get started on transforming your relationship with money. This is Catalyst Conversations, igniting change in women's wealth. Let's spark the conversation. Hey everyone, welcome to Catalyst Conversations, and especially to this episode because it's time for me to deliver my 2 cents. Okay, so you've probably seen the title of this one and you're wondering, what on earth is she talking about? I want to share with you why I think everyone should love paying taxes. Okay, don't skip. Wait for me and bear with me. Why should we love paying taxes? So I know that it's tax season. It's probably depending on what you're filing, whether as a business, as an individual, a corporation. You may or may not be at the deadline, near the deadline, or approaching the deadline, or maybe you're already over the deadline and you're late. I don't know. But at this point in time, I hear a lot of grumbling. I hear a lot of complaining. I hear everyone, the whole process. Well, we're going to save that for another time. I should probably get the grumpy accountant on here. But I hear just a general sense of, I hate this. I hate the process of it. I hate the feeling of it. I hate tax season, and I hate doing taxes. Well, I personally think, and I adopted this approach a few years ago. My approach is I want to love taxes because for me, taxes actually are a great indicator of good things. Okay, so I'll explain more, but I know that for many people, it's burdensome. I want us to consider first and foremost what taxes do. So I'm hoping that by the time I'm done, I'm going to convince you that taxes are great and that you're going to really love them. But let's start with breaking down what taxes do. So we complain about it, but we actually depend on taxes. Our societies are designed in such a way that taxes fund many of the services that we rely on. Think about, your roads, your public transit. Think about healthcare. Think about emergency services like firefighters. Think about education. Think about the social programs that are available to us in our communities. All of these are actually taken care of and provided to us by our tax dollars. Now, we're not going to get into whether or not they're spent well or whether or not you agree with, percentages and all of that. But at its root, our taxes are designed to provide us with these services that we actually rely on. Whether or not you're on social assistance, you still rely on taxes. Whether or not you need access to education, you rely on taxes. All of these things, whether you have a direct need or not, we all depend on taxes to fund those things to sustain them, to support them. So the ability that we have to live in our country, live in our homes, to live in a society that functions well is brought to us by taxes. And you kind of have to ask yourself, I hate paying taxes, but what would life be if you didn't have that infrastructure? What would life be if you did not have access to these services? I think it'll be a lot worse, don't you? I think we would all be suffering, whether you're rich or poor, because those basic elements are the foundation of the society that we live in. So perhaps it's time to shift our perspective, just a smidgen for some of you, a whole lot. If instead of thinking of taxes as a burden, we can choose to think of taxes as an investment in the society that we live in. What if our taxes were viewed as investments as opposed to burdensome or being a cost? Think of it instead as an investment. So it helps us to equalize the playing field for the basic requirements of operating in the society that we live in. And it provides a basic life experience, a base life experience for everyone. Again, I don't want to politicize this, but just the way our societies have been set up, taxes are an investment and should not be a burden. So I want you to consider this. You're either going to pay taxes or you're going to suffer from not having that beautiful foundation. But I want to introduce a third option. So you're paying taxes, yes, or you're, suffering from lack of infrastructure and support and all of that. The third option, which is one that I really like, you can pay to pay less tax. Okay. So here's the truth. You're going to pay either way. So let's acknowledge that for us to live in society as we know it and improve on it and, provide equity where needed in social services, we're going to pay one way or another. So here's where usually the problems come up. It's in the distribution of taxes. So I'm going to invite you to not be afraid of taxes, but instead have an experience of optimized taxes and creating efficiencies with your taxes. Because the thing is this, high earners or business owners, they actually hire professionals to help them maximize deductions so that they end up paying less tax. Then you have the middle class, the everyday earners. They might not have these resources, but they do have access to tax benefits. So you have tax credits, you have deductions that are available based on that middle income or even low income. The real goal is not to try to avoid taxes. It's being smart about how you contribute while keeping more of what you earn. So you're not trying to not pay tax. You're going to optimize your tax experience so that you're contributing, but you don't have to pay any more than you have to. And that takes some planning. So let's shift that mindset. Let's work on how we can shift that. 3 key shifts that I'll invite you to apply or to work towards. 1, taxes mean you're making money. Oh my gosh. Listen, I had to shift that mindset because if I am going to live a life of wealth, that means I am going to contribute more to providing that infrastructure, those base services that are required for us to live well in this society. That's how we do it. So if I'm earning more, I'm going to pay more taxes. I shouldn't have a problem with that because we all want to earn more. We all want to accumulate wealth. We all want to be able to live well using the resource that is money. So, no income, no taxes. Would you prefer to pay no taxes because you have no money? Would you prefer to be broke? Would you prefer that? And then you definitely are dependent on all of the services, the social services that other people's taxes are providing you. Is that what you actually want? No, you want to earn. You want to live a life that is full and rich and brings joy to you. Big part of that is earning money. So if you're earning, you're paying taxes, but you have control. And I think that's probably a big part of where the resistance is. People think that they have no control over the taxes that they pay. You have control, and a lot of that is because we're not educated. We don't understand the taxation system, and we are giving away our money. Listen, I remember years ago, the very first time I heard it said, the very first time I heard it said that, you want to pay taxes, but not a penny more, and you want to be able to have use tax advantaged accounts, use your deductions, use your credits, and make the system work for you. We have to be in places where we're learning these things, where we can apply these things, where we can access all of the information that is there so we can have better optimized taxes. We need to use what's there and use the control that we have in ensuring that we have a good tax experience. So we need to pay taxes and we will not avoid it. So we will adjust our mindset to understand, appreciate, and know that you are in control, that you are in control. And third, giving and taxes are well connected. In fact, our tax system actually rewards giving in that if you make donations to charitable organizations, usually you're able to lower your tax burden just by virtue of your donations to others that are already creating social impact, offering social services, and bringing these services to the people who need it. A little bit of tweaking. So, three mindset shifts. One, paying taxes means you're making money, which is a good thing. Making money, accumulating wealth, creating wealth opportunities for yourself. Two, you have control. Do not give that up. It is yours to wield as you need to. And three, giving and taxes are very nicely connected. The more you can contribute to charitable organizations, the smaller your tax burden becomes. The key, again, is planning. It takes some planning ahead of time to ensure that your tax experience is a good one, it's a positive one, and it's one that you're not hiding from, but that you could look forward to. I want to say this as well. There is a common, I guess, thought in among a lot of places and spaces where the objective of filing your taxes is to get a huge tax refund. Please understand, and I might have to go into this at another time, but please understand that if you are getting a refund on your taxes, it means that the government has held onto your money without interest, without any growth or return on investment for as many months as the last time you filed your taxes. And they're deciding that you are worth getting some of it back. So, your objective really is not so much a refund, but that you can stipulate to the government that this is what I would like to contribute based on these experiences I've had, these money moves that I've made, and based on how I would like to impact our social services. It's time for us to not anticipate refunds, but instead plan our tax contributions over the space of the whole year, so that best result, I think, is a $0 net response. So you neither owe nor get a refund. But if you are getting a refund, let's make it that you have planned it, you know exactly what you're doing, and that the result is what you had anticipated and planned for. But I think we need to shift. Would you give the government money to hold on to and just expect them to make you beg for it back, which is what I see a lot of us doing when we file our taxes? No. Let's shift that perspective. So, shift your mindset so that the next time you pay taxes, it is a positive experience. You are aware of all of the good things that you're helping to fund in our society. Let's learn the legal ways to maximize our tax efficiency so that we are not giving a penny more than is necessary, but that we are contributing in ways that align, that our values can be expressed, and that we're not running away from our social responsibility, but we are also not bearing an unfair burden of that social responsibility because we just don't know any better. And please, if this episode has been insightful for you, please do share it. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let's talk more about some of the things we can probably adopt, adjust our mindset so that we are now open to wealth without reservation, without conflict. And let's start with taxes. So if you're paying taxes, you can jump up and say thank you. You can jump up and ring out a hallelujah because you're paying taxes. That means you are earning money. And if you're earning, you're growing, you're contributing, that's a good thing. So let's not run away from that, but let's be efficient. Let's be wise, and let's use all the resources available to us to build an economy that we actually will enjoy, to build a society that reflects our values and takes care of everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care. Thank you for joining me today on Catalyst Conversations. I hope this episode sparked something powerful to help on your journey to building wealth confidently and unapologetically. If you loved today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if something resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep moving toward your goals, stay empowered, and continue sparking change on your wealth journey. This is Hadriana, and you've been listening to Catalyst Conversations.